October 2021. In an international chess tournament, 5 participants, all women, are targeted for an attack. But this is no ordinary criminal. His weapon of choice is an innocent-appearing envelope. This is a recounting of crimes that rocked the chess world, an investigation that got him caught. Welcome to Agilo.
There are no words in his letters. Strictly speaking, they were not really even letters.
The envelopes contained pictures from magazines. Magazines of a certain explicit nature. Okay. Now, some of the pictures are disturbing, even depicting non-consensual activity. The sender folds the page in half and inserts a rubber. Okay, he inserts. Oh, what the? The most disturbing part, for me at least, was that the rubber is used, and when I say used, I do mean used, like with the white stuff still inside. It's weird to even talk about.
They are faceless letters. Nothing is written inside. The name of the alleged sender is simply changed, and that's it. I don't know what this person wants.
The recipients of the letters are girls or young women, mostly from Russia. There are professional chess players, and the letters are addressed as coming from other chess players.
Where do I start?
Where do you want to start? When did you first receive a letter?
I am the mother of 5-time world chess champion Bibisara Asaubayeva. In the spring of 2018, she played in the European Chess Championship held in Georgia. She was just 14. In the first round, she played against the former world champion, Grandmaster Alexander Kalifman. Bibisara lost, and on the next day, a letter was sent to her at the chess club in Moscow where she studied, allegedly from Kalifman. There was a page from a magazine where 2 or 3 men were a girl, and there was a condom with a liquid in it. Of course, I was shocked. The police officers who came to the chess club worked superficially, so I decided to sort it out myself. I wanted to get the truth straight, so I confronted Kalifman in the hotel lobby.
Did you send that letter?
Of course not. I was surprised that the sender indicated my real home address in St. Petersburg. But, as I told her, this was not the first time I'd heard of such letters. In fact, there had been quite a few.
I'd immediately assumed that this couldn't have happened without Grandmaster Evgeny Soloshenkin. Soloshenkin tried to destroy my daughter psychologically.
6 months before the cheating incident, the coach of the Russian youth chess team, Grandmaster Evgeny Soloshenkin, had publicly accused Bibisara of cheating with computer assistants during her games. And although the accusations were proven to be unfounded and Soloshenkin even received a ban as a result, a lot of damage had already been done.
We began receiving threats and insults from strangers on social media. Bibisara was really depressed. She wanted to quit chess, and it showed in her game. But we survived it all.
So when the letter arrived, a furious Tanzarikova posted on a popular chess forum complaining about Soloshenkin and warning whoever sends the letter to stay away from her family. Soloshenkin did not respond to this post.
Did you send the letter?
Of course not. I cannot help you with this issue. I have nothing to do with this mentally ill person, even if Tans Harikova writes about it on the web 150 times.
Recipients of the letters had very diverse reactions.
It didn't really affect me much.
Why would I talk about him? To flatter his vanity?
Everyone was too lazy to figure it out. No one wanted to be the initiator. What else could be done here?
If I had known there were others, we could have united.
We didn't take it seriously. It was clear that this was not some kind of threat, but a joke. We laughed, threw it away, and forgot about it.
I was at the peak of my game. I was the best in the city of St. Petersburg, on the verge of the Russian national team. This is an insult to a person, a threat to mental health.
I was shocked. How had I never heard of this? And why was everybody silent? Chess players. They are somehow strange. I don't understand them at all.
The investigation carried out by the Russian news outlet Meduza was shocking. At least 15 female chess players had received these letters, and that's just those who could be confirmed. The real number was estimated by some to be as high as 50. Some of them received letters regularly, and at least 5 of the girls were minors at the time they received these letters. This had been going on for 10 years. It had become an open secret, and yet somehow it had never been openly discussed or even reported. Most of them never mentioned it to anyone beyond their family or close friends. Alexander Antipov, whose daughter-in-law Irina received one of these letters when she was 20, decided to contact Meduza to investigate.
Most of the letters come to their home address, and it's not easy to find that. It's not public information. It feels like someone from the chess officials is involved. That would also explain why the problem has seemingly been ignored for years.
Earlier, there was anger that no one was doing anything about the situation. Now, everyone treats it like it's normal. It's like, oh, got a letter again, did you? You know, with discontent but acceptance of it.
Representatives of the Russian Chess Federation claimed that they had never heard of these envelopes. No complaints had ever been made, but even if they had, they would not have likely been able to help.
The Russian Chess Federation is a sports organization. We are not Pinkertons. We could do nothing. Just like the director of the Bolshoi Theater cannot do anything if a ballerina, for example, was poisoned in a cafe. All he can do is write a letter saying, "Don't poison our ballerinas."
The chess world is unique, and chess players themselves usually do not have exceptional mental health. Most of them are normal, ordinary people. But there are some who are, well, very, very strange.
Some players believe that the center could only obtain the home addresses of so many players from the Russian Chess Federation.
If such information is stored anywhere, it is in the possession of the Russian Chess Federation or the organizers of major tournaments.
Maybe some arbiter or organizer. I don't want to blame anyone, but it seems to me that the person is connected with the documentation.
The Russian Chess Federation told Meduza that the information could have been stolen from anywhere. They did not believe that the player learned the addresses of the players from their organization.
A year after I got the first letter, I found out that there were other girls who had suffered from the actions of this maniac. My experience communicating with the police on some issues has always been unsuccessful, so I did not even think about it. Together with one of my friends, I tried to figure out who the sender was, but to no avail. It is clear that the post office works in such a way that anyone can just come up, stick a stamp, and throw a letter in. How do you find the person? In fall of 2019, my friend Natalia also received an envelope with a and pornography. But I was named as the sender of the letter. I doubted that it was worth going to the police. I didn't really want my name to appear anywhere. I don't know what's going on in this person's head. what he could be capable of. And who knows how this whole story could trigger other crazy people. But I was eventually persuaded to file a complaint by Alexander Antipov, a family friend. We got an investigator who is into chess. I think that played a role, and he really wanted to help us. Although they didn't promise anything, because of course it's hard to establish any connection, they took a sample of my handwriting to prove that I was not the one who sent the letter to Natalia. Testing of the contents of various condoms suggested that they all came from the same person.
I contacted my friends from Latvia. They told me that if a letter had been sent with liquid inside it, it wouldn't have left Riga successfully because the mail is X-rayed and liquids would show on it. So I always thought the letters were sent from Moscow, but the sender just used old envelopes.
The Latvian Post told Meduza that they do indeed scan letters by X-ray, but that's only done for mail that is being sent by plane. Some mail is sent by land, and these would not go through an X-ray at any point. Meduza conducted a test by sending an envelope containing liquid from Riga, Latvia to Russia, and it successfully reached Moscow. 2 years passed, but the police investigation went nowhere.
They had serious intentions from what I could tell. But in the middle of the pandemic, it all somehow stopped.
According to a Meduza source familiar with the investigation, it did not find evidence of a crime in the sender's actions, and so a case was not even opened. Essentially, there was no clear law being broken. It was technically not even illegal.
Actually, I know who it is.
When signing the envelopes, the sender uses a different name each time, most of whom don't even know anything about the letters. But one of the names he uses is repeated several times. That of former FIDE world champion Alexander Khalifman.
Maybe you have a crazy fan or a conflict with someone?
No, in fact, it's very simple. Neither the authorities nor anyone else wants to deal with this. But if you type Afromeev's cat into Google, a lot will immediately become clear. The person hiding behind this nickname is 99% the sender of the letters. For me, this is obvious.
Russian chess forums are a thriving community and also predominantly male. They discuss everything there: tournaments, players, rumors, drama, everything. It was on these forums that players first noticed someone with a username called Afromeev or Afromeev's cat.
I recall that back in 2009, I read his stories on the Intelligent Chess Forum. At that time, Afromeev's cat seemed very erudite and interesting to me. But then he began publishing photos of chess players with offensive captions. He ridiculed women and called them mares, sluts, and drunk chicks ready to mate.
An administrator for one of these forums, the chess professionals and amateurs, was Alexander Khalifman.
We had this kind of principle, freedom of speech, and under this freedom of speech, Cote Afromeeva emerged. Initially, his materials, photographs of female chess players, texts about them, were edgy, but just on the verge of foul play. It was unpleasant to read, but freedom of speech means freedom of speech, right? Then Cote started writing outright nasty things about girls. I warned him that I wasn't going to tolerate it. He started babbling something about freedom of speech. I'm an artist. That's how I see it. Blah, blah. Some other admins supported him. At one point, I simply banned him, and he was very offended by that.
In 2012, an account with the same username registered on another chess forum, Peshka, and his posts just got worse and worse. The account is actually still up. You can go through some of the posts, pictures of female players with derogatory comments suggesting that female players would have to perform certain acts on the guys whenever they win games or tournaments. It's very bad.
There was no point in posting your pictures on social media. I drew conclusions and moved on.
When I searched for my name, my photo would pop up, and right under it would be a sweary caption or some other vulgarity. This would make me very angry and upset. Whenever a chess player posted a photo in a bathing suit or something like that, we'd joke, "Well, that's it. They'll soon write about you on Peshka."
I know that he wrote about me quite often. In 2012, I received a letter containing pornographic materials, allegedly from Alexander Khalifman. But it was addressed to my younger sister, who had nothing to do with chess. She was just 13 at the time. I immediately thought of Kota Afromeev, because he is the only character in the chess world who was actively involved in such things. There was no one else to think of. I tried to profile him by carefully reading all his posts and stories, trying to find clues. A man of about 50 years old, speaks German to some extent, plays chess at a fairly high level, travels often. By all appearances, it looks like he is some kind of coach, which would be especially disgusting, that he works with children. He's most likely connected to St. Petersburg.
I would say that he is from the Baltics, because I have not seen very detailed insider information from him. Chess-wise, I think he's more of an amateur.
His chess level is, let's say, not very high. The maximum is the level of a children's trainer, which is completely disgusting.
I would really like to know who he is. When he dies, let him at least write somewhere, "It was me." But I think the answer will be disappointing. I mean, if I find out that he is some guy named Ivanov, what will it change?
I know who's behind the caught Afromeev username. Six years ago, I saw a comment on a Russian social networking site from a user that was very much in the spirit of Kota. In fact, someone responded and said, "Keep it down, cat." But this account didn't have the username Afromeev's cat. It had an actual name.
I also remember that sometimes a VK user wrote under my photos some kind of crap, very similar in style to Afromeev's cat. The username was Alexander Schneider.
A grandmaster from Ukraine whose name was on an account that sounded very much like Afromeev's cat, but not everyone who knew him believed that it could be him.
I haven't spoken to Alexander for a long time, but when we played in the same competitions, he gave the impression of being a completely normal, well-adjusted person. Just like Kota tried to stupidly set me up with the letters, perhaps Schneider stepped on his toes in some way.
Meduza correspondents tried to get in touch with Alexander Schneider and a VK account using his name, both without success. It seemed like this would be another dead end. But just then, the key to unraveling the whole case came from a very unlikely source. This is CyberAnakin, a hacker activist who was behind a 2016 attack that compromised the data of nearly 1.5 million users of a Russian email service. The Alexander Schneider account on VK was created using the email candyman@megabox.ru, and it turns out that information about this email was exposed as part of CyberAnakin's hack.
Access to the email could be restored by answering a secret question. The answer the user chose for this question was the name Burtasova. The IP address the mail was accessed from was also found and determined to originate in Riga, Latvia. The postal code was of the southeastern part of the city.
The same postal code was indicated on some of the letters received by the players.
We also looked at his email correspondence and thus could determine who the owner is. His name is Andrei Strebkov.
Andrei Strebkov graduated from the University of Latvia in 2003, majoring in history. His classmates remembered him as a smart and quiet guy.
He hardly communicated with anyone. After graduation, he worked in the Central Library in Riga.
But he apparently dreamed of becoming a writer. When he wasn't posting derogatory fan fiction about chess players on social media, he was apparently writing and trying to get some novels published, although never successfully. He makes a living by working as a translator and chess coach. An address found on his chess coaching ad leads to southeastern part of Riga, Latvia. The email on his ad also leads to a VK account registered under the name Alexander Schneider.
Strevkov was a strong chess player. I taught him at the Riga chess school from when he was 13 until he graduated, but I haven't seen him since. Women did not exist for him, in my understanding. No one was friends with him. He did all sorts of stupid things. His behavior was a bit inappropriate.
Meduza then procured samples of Andrei's handwriting from an anonymous informant and provided them to 5 handwriting analysis experts to compare with the writing on the envelopes.
I concluded that the envelopes were signed by one hand and that writing matched the sample of Andrei Strebkov.
It's probably the same person, but unfortunately there's not enough for a definitive forensic conclusion.
When sending letters, he deliberately changed his handwriting. He slows down and tries to hide a little. Hence the uneven lines, the constant corrections, the significant variability, even within one envelope.
Having amassed all this evidence, it was time for Meduza to confront him. They obtained his phone number and they just gave him a call.
Hello.
Andrei Strebkov?
No, this is a different person.
That's his voice.
Who is this?
I'm an outsider, but I can pass a message on to Strebkov.
Okay, well, can you tell him that some journalists called him and that we have questions for him about the letters he sent to chess players?
I let him know, but he will not call back right away because he is out of town today.
So how do you have his phone?
This is a company's number.
Really? What's the name of the company?
I'm sorry, I have to go.
The Latvian mobile operator service confirmed that the number belonged not to a company but to an individual, and the person disconnected the number a few days after this call. With no other means to contact Andrei and the police no longer investigating, it seemed like the story might end right there. But in October 2021, Andrei got a bit too bold. At the FIDE Grand Swiss tournament taking place in his home city of Riga, at least 5 players received letters. Whereas he had previously targeted mostly Russian players, this time he hit an international tournament with representatives from all over the world, and so he drew a lot more attention. The governing body of chess, FIDE, reported the matter to the Latvian police and provided them the 5 new letters for investigation. In February 2022, Meduza released their bombshell article detailing their entire investigation and how it pointed to Andrei as the culprit. All the dialogue in the reenactments you saw in this video were based on that article. You'll find the link in the description. Probably thanks to that helpful article, the Latvian police were able to test the DNA samples that they had and were able to determine conclusively that they all came from one man, Andrei Strebkov. But there was a problem. Much like in Russian law, there was nothing technically illegal about what he had done according to Latvian law. And so the police couldn't prosecute. But they could at least provide confirmation to FIDE that Andrei was their man. And so in 2024, his case was brought up to their Ethics and Disciplinary Commission. In defending himself, he didn't even try to deny guilt. He only argued that any mail that he sent was private correspondence and so wasn't in the jurisdiction of FIDE to punish. That didn't work, and he was soon banned, first for 5 years, later revised upwards to 12 years, and his international master title was revoked. And thus, the 15-year saga came to an end. If you're still here, I'm definitely going to enjoy this video about a convict who broke the chess world. But before you click on it, make sure you're subbed. Just click that button right there. Yeah, that one.